Good morning, guys, and welcome to Friday's episode of Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. I hope everybody has had a phenomenal week of trading markets, trading this volatility. Looks like we're finally getting some more movement out of Bitcoin that isn't just one directional. Over the course of this week, we'll talk about that and more here in just a second. But welcome, guys. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker and Jackus. I'm sure we'll get a few more members of the crew on this show as well. A reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Once again, guys, happy Friday. I feel like it has been a bit of a grueling week is maybe not necessarily a fair assessment of it, as far as, what it's required from participants to be active. But, we've just been bleeding kind of incessantly, both on Bitcoin and in crypto for pretty much the last 2 weeks. So we are finally seeing, I don't know if it's a trend reversal yet, right? We were talking just before we went live that it might just be a bearish retest. We don't know, but we are finally getting a squeeze back into support and resistance. I think it's a really critical level. It's something that we'll probably talk about on this show. 43, 44K is the highest volume area of basically this entire range that we've been operating within. So I think contextually, it provides us with a really easy framework to be able to approach the market, in the sense that, you flip it, you put buyers back on side, you probably erase all of the grayscale selling at that point. And if you rebalance all of the grayscale selling up to this point, this is something that I was saying on the Giga Chat call yesterday, what FUD is left over at that point, right? Like, if you are able to be trading back towards the highs on Bitcoin, and you make it seem as though, grayscale sold billions and billions worth of Bitcoin and it didn't really do much to price, I think that would be a very bullish context to be operating within. And then I think the flip side of that, as well as, if you reject 43 or 44K, it looks like a big bearish retest. And I don't think that the vertical accumulation pattern that propelled us into this range, I'm talking about the price action from 34, 35, 36, 37. I don't really view that as something that would hold as support. I think if you reject 43 or 44K, you probably come all the way back down, to the low 30s, which would bring a lot of pain for altcoins. So I think, playing this pivot is crucial, even if you have a higher time frame outlook, right? Because this is something that I think is pretty noteworthy. You never know how much drawdown's coming or when drawdown is coming at all. But it's always easiest to say after you're up a ton on multiples that, hey, I can sit through and hold through any potential drawdown. And then it happens and you're like, well, that was maybe a little bit tougher than I expected. So I do think the lower time frame here actually probably takes a lot more precedence than it has really over the last few months, because of the implications that it could have on these asset prices, right? Even if you are high time frame bullish, I think it's definitely important to talk about. But equities, guys, there's really not too much to talk about. Still strong, still a very strong market. I think we are getting into some interesting levels as far as risk proxies go. I'm not talking about the VIX, I'm talking about things that DIA, QQQ, pairs like industrials versus tech, could signal that maybe we're beginning to see a rotation into things like the Dow, or that tech is maybe about to cool off. And I also think TLT is probably in an interesting spot as well here on a higher time frame. We look at that chart, and TLT looks like it might want to trade back towards the summer's lows. And if that is going to be the case, we'll see what that means for equity markets. But I do want to talk about these charts on the stream today with you guys. I think that I think equities are kind of more interesting now than they have been in a few months at this point, at least from the standpoint that I'm prospecting puts. But it's been a very easy market to trade. I would also say that over the last few weeks, because it's effectively just gone up only. And now I think we're finally reaching a place where, I think you maybe see the index stall out a little bit. Material downside, who knows? But I definitely think we're at a possible inflection point on something like SPOOs, on something like the Nasdaq. But welcome, guys. Welcome. Happy Friday.
Tommy, what do you see here, man?
What, on IWM DIA?
Yeah, man. I'm seeing the first higher low in a while.
Well, I think let me be clear. I do think that we're probably about to see some sort of rotation into, even if the bid on tech is about to kind of cease and it'll shift into industrials. I still think you'll probably see some sort of rotation into, super high beta or lagging beta right here. It's like a month or so. I think that makes sense, even if like we're at or approaching an inflection point on the S&P or Bitcoin. I think, in crypto, that would just be probably ETH and ETH beta finally running. But that's kind of like a meme at this point to suggest that, ETH is going to outperform for an extended period of time. But I think if at any month for it to happen is going to happen, it's going to be February. I think a lot of things are kind of lining up for ETH to pump. And look at what got bid off the low the fastest here over the last like 24 to 48 hours. I'm looking at ETH beta, ENS, Optimism, LDO, some of the leaders off the low. So I think that does kind of indicate where the market is looking to bid. But we've said that before, and the bid on ETH just hasn't sustained.
I know. Come on, baby. It continues to be time for Sol ETH, man. Sol up 6, ETH up 1. When is ETH going to figure it out? Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows.
It's really funny. As hard as I FUD'd Sol, it's like my favorite coin to trade now, and it's not even close.
Yeah, same.
I still think that Bitcoin? I cannot help but still say that I think both Sol ETH and Sol BTC needs to go lower. I'm just not liking those charts here. And I'm the guy that was a buyer at $20 on average on Sol, right?
Jack stop putting your own bags.
I mean, if you get FOMO on your own bags, then it's usually the time to turn around. So I do not mind funding my own bags. I to be honest, mostly my biggest bags are not even mentioned on Twitter, and there's a reason for it. I think Tommy understands.
Yeah. What do you guys make of this ETH dominance chart? Because I'm like, if I look at ETH BTC, right, you can pretty clearly see like
look at the monthly on ETH BTC. I think that
you can pretty clearly see when ETH BTC is gonna rip, and it's always in 25. It's always in January of the post-halving year, right? Like we know it's gonna rip. We know you want to buy ETH in December or in January of next year, period, hands down. That's a fact. But what happens until then is a bit of a mystery.
But you already had in the past year, if you look at the actual bottom on ETH BTC, you already see that it was going up very well prior, right? Like a year, many months prior.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing,
it grinds up, and then that's when it just rips, right?
Exactly. So that could be the case here, and I think is the case here, right? As well. But once again, we are looking at ETH BTC as like an leading index for the alt BTC pairs, right? That's like looking at BTC and looking at the overall crypto index basically nowadays. And you mentioned some of that ETH beta, right? That's the one you want to be playing mainly, right? Like exactly LDO, Arbitrum, Optimism,
Pepe.
Even Pepe, right? Like I will keep on mentioning these guys. I think Pepe goes, and I was mentioning this. I think Pepe goes maybe another 30% lower, but this cycle it will do at minimum 1,000%, right? Even from the current prices. So once again, if you understand the cycle wise, where we are cycle wise, if you have enough patience, right? That's all you need, man. That's all you need. Just DC. Listen, I'll give you the exact same thing, and you can find this publicly on my Twitter. I said, look, Doge here. I said this in 2020. I said Doge is obviously deviating below a accumulation range low out of multiple years accumulation, and it's as brain dead as this. Just DCA 20, 19, 18, 17, 16 cents all the way down to like I think I was like saying 13, and it came down to like 14 cents, right? And then it went like 10,000%. And it's as dumb as this. All you need is to understand the time frame, right? Like the time frame is you need to be in this position maybe for another half a year or a year before it really pumps. But you want to be DCing these red candles over the next months. And the best thing you can probably do is like said, all right, this is an allocate. Okay, I understand the time frame, right? I'll be holding at minimum 1 year from here, Pepe. So what I'll do, because I do not know when exactly it pumps, I'll take, this is my allocation I want to insert into Pepe. And what I will do is for the next 5 months, each 14 days, right? So that's around 10 times, I will DCA my position here, because time-wise, this is the time to shove in. And you'll just, if you want to take, if you want to invest $1,000 into Pepe, then you'll go $100 today. Then 14 days, you get another $100. Then the next 14 days, another $100. Until over the course of 5 months, you'll get your full allocation. This way, you will ensure that you do not miss it, and at the same time, you get the best pricing. It's as simple as this, guys. This is the alpha you want to do, right? Write it down, write this plan down, play it. You will outperform 99.99% of people out there.
Look at these. Tommy, what do you make of this?
I think they're basically the same chart, man. And it's a little bit, it's important context. I think Sol maybe looks a little bit better in the sense that I feel like it looks like a cleaner return to trend. Bitcoin structure looks a little bit more busted, but if I guess it kind of just depends on what Bitcoin. For me, it's all about that pivot, man. 43K. If Bitcoin flips it, then Sol's gonna probably gig ascend right above $110, $100. Somewhere in that vicinity, that would be equivalent to that region on Bitcoin. Otherwise, if we get a bearish retest on Bitcoin towards that price point, I'd probably be looking at Sol to do the same thing, bearish retest into 100, 110. But I don't know. There's kind of like some part about me that thinks that Sol could trade back to the highs, even if Bitcoin is just doing a bearish retest. I don't have a ton of confidence in that theory, but just kind of based on the fact that Solana's bleed is longer, or at least it feels a little bit longer, a bit more mechanical, like the type that can be rebalanced on a squeeze very quickly. But like I said, I don't really have a ton of conviction that it's going to just drastically outperform Bitcoin. But it's like, what does Sol Bitcoin look like right now? That's probably a pretty important
exactly,
part in this equation.
Let's put it on.
By the way, if you look at this chart, okay, I'll still have the case. Look at that. Okay, we don't have the charts anymore.
Wait, what chart? Which one?
Now, right? So what you see is that Sol was leading the entire Q4 of past year, but at the end, in 2024, it was BTC that started to go higher, while Sol refused to make new highs. And surely, the time that BTC will do these bounces up, Sol will bounce with it. The question, right, comes when BTC will make a pullback, when it will retrace back to the range low. How will Sol react? And that, in my opinion, will be the leading indicator. And my bet is still that Sol needs to go lower first. And I'm heavily bullish on Sol. Listen, I keep on saying this. Sol is the ETH or Cardano of the past cycle. It will outperform ETH, Link, BTC, right? I just do not think it's from here. But the main thing you want to watch for is how Sol reacts the next time BTC does a pullback. That will be a lot telling. Does Solana make new lows? Well, not good.
I kind of agree. I think the point about Solana that I think is most salient, and Chris Bernitzky, I think that's how you say his name, pointed it out yesterday. I know a lot of people were kind of up in arms that a lot of people were taking what he had to say so seriously, but what stuck out to me was you know, a lot of the things that we did see lead over the last few months have broken their parabolas. What does that kind of mean here locally? It either means that, you know, one, they probably have lower to go, but also two, the market's going to be looking to shift its attention and focus somewhere else. You know, I think the question for me is, does that attention shift occur from here, or does it occur after a wipe from lower prices? I mean, that's a really important question because, right, like, are you bidding ETH beta here? Or are you bidding it maybe 40% lower? I know some people will say that's picky, but I really think that Bitcoin is in kind of a precarious position, honestly, as long as it's trading below 43 or 44K.
Yeah.
Good propaganda. Good propaganda right here.
We like that propaganda.
Yeah.
I will say, though, one thing that makes me a little bit more bullish today than perhaps the last few days is that Bitfinex longs have been going crazy on Bitcoin.
Oh,
They've been slurping.
that's
So,
smart. That's like, Tommy, that's like, you know, the bond traders in TradFi, right? Bitfinex long. That's always like the smart investors are on Bitfinex. It is
yeah.
what it is.
I can only remember Bitfinex being wrong one time, and it was when I think it honestly might have been at this exact same price point. Honestly, it was when we were at like 43, 42K. I want to say it was in early February or late January of 2022. And
Yeah.
Bitcoin ended up, I mean, I remember that last leg ended up carrying us to like 33K. And I think it was pretty much entirely forced from FTX just, you know, nuking support by themselves. Because I remember they were the counterparty of Bitfinex at that price point. I you know, it was kind of funny on that downtrend, and very ironic almost. I'll try not to get too off topic here, but like very ironic that, you know, when you looked at the buying flow from, I would say, like 50 down to, you know, 40, it was mostly Bitfinex buying coins, and it was FTX just selling and nuking support, which looks hilarious in hindsight because, you know, FTX, that move down made them even more insolvent than they already were. So, I mean, they were kind of just like speeding up their own demise. I assume by trying to make it back with shorts, but you know, I don't know. It's like too old and probably too granular for us to be able to look back at that data. But
Yeah. I mean, FTX, it was just planned scam. I cannot believe it wasn't, man. All along.
just wait for FTX 2.0, man.
2.0,
Sure
yeah.
that will be a US government led scam.
It will be, man. Like, that's Luna 2.0. Anyways, we are just having fun. But Tucker, I seen you putting on the weekly chart on BTC. Can you put that back on? Because that
Yeah,
was
look at that. Look at that.
amazing. Look
I
at that.
know, dude.
And that's exactly, guys, why I was saying wait for the damn weekly candle on BTC before you GT or BTC, right? And we are holding that range low. Well, still 2 days to go, right? The weekends count too in crypto, but looks good so far.
Looks real good.
Real
Looks
good.
real good. Yeah. Yeah.
And they did take it, you know, low. They did try to shake us out.
38.5.
It looks good to me as long as you don't trade below that pivot, honestly. Below that, I think you're taking the low 30s, honestly.
Tommy.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying, but we bounced from it, Tucker. We bounced.
Tommy, this is concrete. This is concrete.
Hey, we traded below it. We traded below it a few months ago.
I'm aware, but oh, I need BLX. When you get into this part of the thing, you just tap and go. Tap and go. I don't think we need to do all this garbage again. This was terrible.
Go into 2016-17, Tucker, with this one, and I think that one is pretty good.
Yes, exactly. Look at this thing, man.
Yeah.
This was the area I was looking at that looked similar to right now. Let me put it on like the 3-day. Like this looks pretty similar to right now, and we're like, you know, we're like right here. We're like right here. And I don't think we get this huge wick or whatever, but I think you probably just bounce off this thing. There's your vertical accumulation garbage. Obviously, we didn't have the ETF, so it's going to look different up there. But
good point from Danish. When are we expecting 4.5 USDT dominance? Look, man, we talked about USDT dominance rejecting from the supply, and it's doing exactly that. I love to see that.
Is it?
Yeah. It's rejecting right from that prior supply. And look at that, look at that confluence of the rejection from that cloud.
Yeah, man, it's over. I don't know what these things are, but
that said, I still have to point out the fact, guys, that in 2016, when BTC was at, and we were showing this yesterday, when BTC was at this exact moment, and it was bullish and started to go up, right? ETH and Doge were going down at the same time, and this is something people need to keep in mind. Not saying it happens exactly the same, but yeah, as I was saying yesterday, some alts are looking very bad, and some alts are looking very decent, and
like a Sui. Sui looks great. We've been talking about that all week.
Yeah,
I need to add Sui back to my thing, man.
Sui basically played to a T, man. It was just kind of about sitting through that Bitcoin chop, but bulls will be rewarded with that. I think a new high on Sui. I don't think it's about to aggressively trend. Part of me, I know, Jackus, you were talking about how it might need to pull back earlier this week. I kind of think we could see something like a 3 drive up here, and then pull back into retesting the demand of that 3 drive, and then going later in the spring. That's kind of my plan for Sui right now. But
God, Tommy, we had it down here, man.
Good plan.
We had it spot down here, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I don't think I ever owned spot Sui, man.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'm pretty sure you did.
I don't think I did.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I will say I've been using the network this week. It's kind of why I tweeted out. What?
Is it nice?
It is, and it's so easy to use. It's just like downloading a Phantom wallet. I mean, it's why I tweeted out earlier this week that the L1, L2 thing, like versus ETH, has always been, I felt exaggerated to the side of the ETH killer narrative because, the price appreciation has usually been more than ETH, and that's usually what drives the narrative. But I think this is the first time that I actually feel like some of that technology, given the fact that we've had such a sticky on-chain season in Solana, it does make me kind of feel like ETH now has to actually do something to maintain that crown. Like it's always going to be the king alt per se, but for the layer 1 or really the blockchain, I'm really characterizing this very poorly, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. Like this competition for effectively like the base layer currency. I think that ETH is finally in a position where it needs to kind of reestablish itself. And why? It can't just be Ethereum and guarantee that people are going to flock to on-chain anymore, because people are seeing a lot of opportunity in Sol, and it's just so much nicer. It really is like so much nicer of a user experience to use these other chains right now.
Dude, for sure. And ETH hasn't had to like do anything to innovate. I mean, they did POS, but they haven't had to like do anything in years. I feel like they've had the luxury of being the king alt and the highest network share in TVL, blah, blah, blah. Right. Like, but I have a personal beef with Sui because that was the only, I'm not a test netor at all, but that was the only one that I like actually did. I was like, what is this faucet? Did the faucet thing, whatever, did like played around with it. And then it came time for them to like do an air. They did something. I don't remember what they did. I was supposed to get something, but then they geo restricted it and I got screwed. And I was, I hold a deep resentment with Sui. Oh man, but the chart looks good. The chart does look good, man.
I mean, there's were some great points, and I still think that I mean I agree, right? All of these other chains are just better, but I think that he still comes up with, as all these tokens do, that they come up with some propaganda bullshit why they are now the best, and that drives the attention, that drives the money and the flow. And to be honest, in the past cycle, everything was an ETH killer, right? It was Phantom, it was AVAX, and Luna, and look at where all of those are right now. Nowhere to be seen.
I totally agree. I think we were talking about this over Christmas, Jack. It's like the rhetoric was similar when, especially with AVAX and Solana and Luna, the phone narrative too, but kind of to a lesser extent. That was super high beta at that point. But I totally agree with you. I think most of the fundamentals that are improving for ETH are based on price appreciation, or are going to be kind of derived from the premise of price appreciation, in the sense that we have like eigenlayer, we have restaking, rehypothecating of assets. Probably that's going to lead to a big appreciation in the value of Ethereum. But I am curious though, has the on-chain meta maybe shifted towards other places, and will it ever return to ETH? Because I do think that that's maybe more in line with my thinking, in the sense that I don't know if it's going to return to ETH, right? We might have I'm sure if you have tokens pumping on ETH, capital will return. But, as the go-to place for a shitcoiner's paradise, I don't know if it's still going to maintain that, kind of that label over something like a Solana, or, I mean, I tried out Sui. I'm sure Say is somewhat similar, like get transactions done extremely quickly and for basically nothing. So it's nice for the on-chain aspect of it. But I do agree with you. I don't think that ETH's price appreciation is, going to be affected too much over a higher time frame from these narratives, and because we've already seen it play out multiple times in the past.
Yeah. I mean, what I expect again is to Sol outperform ETH and outperform Blink and all of these. I think the goal should be for most to really play these rotations and try to, and like as always, I would advise to have exposure in both, and then just try to make the rotations like like ratios, and be like, at some point be 70-30 Sol, and then maybe be 30 to 70, and just like making these ratios. And this is good way to win regardless of what happens, right? And at the same time, you are doing something which feels good if you outperform even better. But I'm pretty sure that ETH is here to stay. They always, like, what I've learned through the years is that they always come up with some new ultra sound money narrative, right? So I'm expecting the same to happen. Like, again, before the run in AVAX in Q4 2023, it was a dead chain. Everyone laughed at me when I bought it sub 10 just because of the price. And then it started to pump, and suddenly, everyone was like, look at all these projects and airdrops launching on AVAX. It's a, absolutely new chain once again. And
I loved using AVAX, man. I really enjoyed AVAX Rush and Time Wonderland, and I guess Snowbank DAO too, before it kind of rugged everybody.
Yeah.
But you're right. At the end of the day, I mean, price went like 90% lower, where from AVAX's all-time high. It's a fleeting narrative, and ultimately, in a bear market, it's kind of the same effect with Bitcoin. You see altcoins head back into Bitcoin because it's a better store of value. You see layer ones head back into ETH because it's a better store of value. But I do think I will say I don't want to say that this time is different, because I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do think you're seeing the reflexivity of the narrative push it to a point where I think ETH probably needs to show people why they need to come back on chain, because that is a big part of the value add of ETH. But I don't, we had a very similar conversation.
Yeah.
I think the driver of it was that It was either DGods or some other shit coins were moving over to Solana.
Well, DGods have moved back and forth like 3 or 4 times. They can't figure out what they want to do, which is hilarious.
I think it's healthy that we have these conversations once in a while. It's also fun, right? I love having these conversations. It's entertaining. It broadens our view of the market. Yeah, I agree with you, Tommy, completely. They have to come up with something, but once again, narrative changes with price. The moment price starts to go up, suddenly look at there is this stuff going on in ETH and these airdrops and whatever, and this company just adopting ETH for its payments. They'll come up with something. There is, I think it's as simple as this. There is too much economical incentive from all the ETH holders to push something, right? And they will, because there is too many NFTs, too many people staking on ETH, and so forth and so forth. So I think at the end of the day, there's an economical incentive to make it happen. But once again, you want to play the rotations. Do not.
Of course.
The least I try to be is oh man, like I couldn't be far from being an ETH maxi, right? I am like the only maxi I am in a way is BTC really, and that's it. And everything else is a rotation play for me, and that's it. So yeah,
Profit.
I don't know. If you're gonna look at AVAX versus ETH chart, like AVAX USDT versus ETH USDT, you'll find out that it's basically going sideways, and there's always these times when just one is completely undervalued, then the other is overvalued, and so forth. So actually, Tucker, if you're gonna put in AVAX USDT, because it has more history, right? It will show you that
it's an oscillator.
It's oscillator, and these are the rotations I'm speaking of. You want to play, right? So yeah,
interesting that it didn't make a new low on the ETH pair, though. I would say that's a high time frame validation for AVAX, because what you usually see is coins just incessantly making new lows against ETH.
That's true.
Yeah. Good chart. What about AVAX? What does it do against BTC?
Oh, you don't want to see that.
No way. That's not terrible.
Oh man, I don't know.
Top though, probably
double bottom, bro.
It's a lot uglier.
Yeah, it's a lot uglier, but
the thing
might bleed
into
the bottom.
Yeah, not that I would buy it now, but it's not like down only.
No, but it will be, right? That's the problem. That right now it had this spike from the double bottom. Like, babe, please stop short. Wait, babe, please stop longing. It's not going up. Double bottom.
Double bottom, yeah. Our rent money.
That was my favorite meme, man, from the that top on Bitcoin in November of 2021. It was like, babe, stop shorting our rent money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this chart right now, it made that double bottom. It has pumped nicely, but you know that from here, it's going to bleed to new lows. It's just what it is.
I feel like this might be a good show to have Agar on.
Yeah, they've been
on speed dial. It doesn't have to be on the whole show, but it probably should be on speed dial, man. If we squeeze hard here, that could be entertaining. But no Agar button until you guys hit the like button. I haven't pestered you guys at all the entire stream. I don't even know how many likes that we're sitting at. We'd really appreciate if you could slam that like button if you're enjoying the show, or if you're just having a great Friday, because Fridays are pretty great.
You guys can't hear it yet, right? I pulled it up, but I'm just going to keep it on another tab.
There was actually a comment from Carl Magnus, and he reversed this, right? He said, first the casino sounds and then the live. But yeah, man, weekly on BTC is currently positive. Think about that.
Is it really?
It is. It's green.
Wow.
Is it green?
It has And that's, guys, I'm gonna send you, Tucker, I'm gonna send you a tweet that I was making exactly about this weekly candle closing. Not the one you probably think. Earlier in the past week, actually. I have to scroll down really. Jesus, I should stop spamming some shit. All right, here it is, right? If you can pull that out, it's in the private chat here on StreamYard.
I got you.
You got it.
Wait, you want me to do what? Share
Just
screen?
just show it and then show it on your screen. Like show it first, show the tweet, right? And then do the difference on your chart live, like before versus after, right?
Okay. Oh, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, I'm just gonna do this real quick. Mm-hmm. This?
Yes, that's the one. And as you can see, right, I was saying that on the left side, people are faking 30K next. On the right chart, you just see the candle closes, and that's what you want to do. And you see that we are actually reaccumulating in a range, right, between the 40 to 45K. Everything else is just a deviation, bro. And now, if you're going to go back onto your chart, you will see that despite the insane fear and sell pressure we were getting, at the end of the day, it's exactly that. On left you can keep the wicks, on right you will just put in the line chart, right?
Oh yeah, if you do a line chart, it still
Eh,
looks pretty good.
right, exactly. It's as simple as this, guys, sometimes, and that's where people are fucking up. They are not seeing these ranges to play out. And by the way, let's say we close this week green. Like, we can still go, and I think we do go back to the range lows at 40Ks to retest 40Ks, next week, probably. But then you want to wait for the weekly close once again, you know? And this range, it can stay here for, who knows, maybe another 3-4 weeks. But at the end of the day, as you have the line chart,
Yeah.
right?
I want to see the historical line chart.
Yeah. Jesus, look at that line.
Look, Jack, 7 days is a long time when you're staring at the 1 minute chart all day. All right.
It is. It's an eternity. It's an eternity, Jackass.
I love that line at approximately 1070.
I mean, dude, I still contend we're
11,000.
somewhere in here, man.
Wow, that's kind of an interesting picture. I could see either one, man.
Mm-hmm.
I could see either one.
Well,
I could see either one, but I could also see this being the top of 2019 too, more or less.
No.
Like, we are tapping up on the line. So, I mean, I don't know. I could see a ton of different scenarios, right?
Yeah.
That's the funnest speculation.
The only thing that says we're not in 2019 is like the timing, like the peak to where we are now, where the halving is, like all that says we should be green box instead of right here, which that would be unfortunate. But
what I keep on saying is that we are like mixed between these two, right? It's not. It's neither of those. It's both of those combined, basically, because we like, it's not as same as 2016. If anything, it's more like 2016 for sure. But at the same time, it's not. And we need to exactly, great points, guys. We did not go up as quick in 2019. Just look at that move from the bottom right to where we are.
Look at this comment.
Guys, Max wasn't even like bearish, right? He is bullish. He is just like bearish shorter term, or appreciating some of the risk right? He's bullish though, just like me.
Mhm.
It's just that some alts are not looking as good as they should. I think he's pretty much bullish BTC, and that's also important to differentiate, right? But I know it's a joke, so
Yeah, and I think the bearishness is actually warranted the more that I look at this, because like what
yeah,
you did is you came up, you tap, and this is all on a closing basis, right? So you came
yeah,
up, you tapped it, pulled back, go.
yeah,
Tapped it, pulled back, go. We haven't really pulled back on a closing basis yet. You know what I
yeah,
mean? We've just kind of gone sideways. So I could see like that, you know.
yeah.
You throw this on, boom. I mean,
I mean, I do not want to see that, Tucker, because of the local price, right? Like it would make sense historically, but we have to
mhm.
always appreciate the local price action. And as I said, we need to keep closing above 40K because of the range here. That range wasn't present in 2016 because
Yeah.
it just went up and there was no range. So that pullback was possible. I think this time is different in that regard. Like if you actually
Yeah,
zoom
you
in,
could even make the range. You could even like, I mean, there wasn't a range, right? But you could even like, say like,
yeah.
We are so back, boys.
Here he is.
Oh, what is this comment? I come into this. What is this?
we already highlighted it, Max. We
Oh
already.
my
We
god!
already did, and
No,
I
I
was
was making.
defending you. I was
Dude,
defending you here.
watch this video. Okay, I just made some of the most bullish propaganda you've ever seen with a friend from Twitter. All right, that'll be up on YouTube. So, I was in the bull cage. All right, not the bear cage.
And it's also right that like it's different. For example, when you talk for BTC, is where like I was just saying that you are basically, and me too. We are like both. All of us are heavily bullish for many weeks and months forward, and then but it's it's time to be watchful on certain alts for sure. BTC as well. I think once again, that BTC here looks pretty good, as I said, but it's really not that, guys. It's really not that max, and I hope I'm saying this right, Max. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not that Max is bearish, right? It's that Max is saying, hey, there's some risk around here, and you need to be aware of it.
For sure. I mean, dude, if I was bearish, I wouldn't own crypto. I'm like 75% deployed, like of all of my available liquidity into
Yeah.
shit coins, Like I'm not bearish here at all. I think locally what I prepared for was, and actually I'm more than that. I literally bought back some of my Doge this morning because Tommy gave the bat signal. But I'm like 90% deployed right now. The only stables I have on the side right now are just for the dimension whenever dimension rolls out. Yeah, Todd 75%. I'm actually 90 now. I bought some back this morning. But yeah, I mean I'm not bearish. Like I've been making the case loudly for even the potential of a new all-time high before the halving, which would be the first time ever. I don't know how likely I think that is. I think it's possible and it needs to be entertained. But what I've been suggesting is that until we get a daily close above 43, I'm just being a little bit cautious here. I think things look great today. Dude, Max is coping. You capitulated, Max. What is going on here, guys?
They
Oh
are
my
trolling
god.
you. They are trolling you.
Wait.
Anything but up only is just not appropriate.
No, that's just crypto. You are either 100% long all in on one coin and thinking 100K next, or you are 100% in stables thinking zero next, right?
Yeah.
Tommy, do you wanna pull up Coinalyze maybe?
How dare you have some
For
stables,
Bitcoin?
right?
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
side.
How dare you not tell me I'm gonna be rich next week? How dare you? Dude, I'm so bullish, man. It's craziness. I don't know what all this
Wanna address this comment?
dude. Dude, max.maximum FUD. You guys.
Oh my god.
Max.maximum.
I know I came on here to join my friends for a nice market check, and I get called a perma bear when I'm 90% deployed, guys. I think Tucker.
Wasn't me. It could have been any of us, man.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed market check because the show is canceled. All right, no more market check for anybody. This is worse than soybeans on the 1 second chart.
Oh
guys.
man. Oh man.
You guys ready for some derivatives?
Yeah, let's see the derivatives data.
Let's dive into it, boys. Some things I want to point out that I think are interesting, right? I mean, we've kind of talked about the fact that spot CVDs look pretty good here over, even though we've been bleeding down, which I think is very telling and notable. I mean, you could see that we kind of hit up here and we were basically just distributing the whole time. We're starting to see some buyback finally. For me, you know, you can see that same pivot that I was talking about for price. I mean, you can see the importance of kind of like if you were trading spot CVD at like its own thing. I mean, that's not how it works, of course, but you know, you can really see spot started selling when you came into this consolidation here. Additionally, you know, we can look at something like OI. You know, where is the majority of this open interest been transacted? I would argue probably somewhere above this line, or maybe even a little bit higher. So basically the same pivot, right? Because we look at here. I really think the market is going to tell you exactly how strong it is at this pivot. We're either going to squeeze really hard or we're going to reject a few times and we're going to trade lower, which is why I've kind of always had this pivot marked out. But I will tell you guys, the one thing that makes me maybe more bullish than usual is actually this chart. It's Bitfinex.
Yeah.
Bitfinex been adding longs.
Arthur
at the lows, right into the lows.
Yep. So you can see kind of a deviation in the amount of long interest that they've been adding. And maybe that's just them defending longs that they opened here. But, you know, you never really want to get too comfortable shorting when you have Bitfinex adding to longs. Because I think back to here, right? I mean, this was actually like this flow is why BB got so bullish for this pump. Like we nailed that pump. We got super long on. I think the only thing I could have played differently on this, I think I was long Bitcoin and the XRP headline came out. So alts ended up running, but I had some altcoin bags that did well as well. But you know, you could kind of see this divergence in price bleeding, but Bitfinex OI skyrocketing. They ended up forming the low both here, and then you can also see when we traded back towards this this support here, they didn't close. Like none of this open interest that got opened up on this pump, none of it closed when we traded back to support. So they were confident that we were going higher. Like Jack has said, it's I think before the stream, it's smart money. He's absolutely right. You didn't see smart money start closing out these longs until we started trading higher. And they were able to take profit. But you did see some material de-risking once we got into here. So I think that's interesting too, and maybe worth noting. But yeah, I mean, Bitfinex is buying. It's not quite to the same extent as obviously down here at these lows, but still notable, especially when you have, like I pointed out over here, you know, especially when you have spot CVD potentially ticking up in a pretty big way.
So Bitfinex is absorbing the grayscale sell pressure.
They're trying to. They're definitely trying to.
Well, the ETFs are too. I mean, ETFs.
Wait. These longs are, you know, they are not spot longs, right? That's on Bitfinex. The Bitfinex longs are like futures.
Yes. Let me have a chart for that as well.
So who is probably absorbing the grayscale selling is, you know, BlackRock on OTC deals.
It's ETFs, bro. The net flows are positive.
Yeah, exactly.
What do we think about this, boys?
Only.
Yeah.
We call that a TWAP, a TWAP, some might say.
Speaking of TWAP, where is Mr. TWAP today?
Oh man. Should we put on the Agger?
No.
I'm on the 10 second.
We squeeze in?
on the 10 second.
I'd like to show you guys a chart. I'm not going to pull a Tommy because Tommy's got the screen, and you can't pull a Tommy on Tommy, but I do have a chart for you guys, and it's actually one that we talked about here on Market Check a while ago, so some of you guys may recognize it.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
Perfect.
The Bitfinex longs weekly trading into the golden pocket got a reaction.
That's hilarious.
That's so stupid. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I have for you guys for derivatives today. There's not like, I've been noticing this spot uptick, and then today I noticed that those Bitfinex longs coming in. So I think now it just makes the reaction here that much more important, because if you flip it, you're probably going to have something into like here. Yeah. It's probably not going to take that long either.
What is that? 55?
Well, yeah. If you can flip
my shit,
the most important,
dude, your shit coins are going to be popping off, Tucker.
Sold the 150 with ease and grace.
I'm going to show you guys a chart. I'm going to show you a chart.
One of the lines that's still important to mention, we were talking about this before we started the show, is the yearly open that sits at 42,283 on the Binance chart, and reclaiming that one. And if you guys remember, I talked about this in December, that we will be printing the daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly and the yearly close at the same day, everything at the same day, and that level we will trade above and below it, and then above multiple times. And if we reclaim that one, once again, $42,283, that's freaking bullish above there.
So everyone's like, oh, we can't go up that fast, it's impossible. Well, the Nasdaq did it. The Nasdaq did it. We talked about this chart here on Market Check, guys. So the importance of this one is that this is a very, very, very key level. So this blue box right here for both the Nasdaq and for Bitcoin was the last higher low to be set in the previous bull market before a break of market structure and a bear market. Okay, so same thing again here. We had a break of market structure below that low and then a bear market. Okay, right now, drawing these comparisons out, you can see that we deviated, QQQ deviated below that level. Again, that really important pronounced low, which is, in my opinion, like the most important level on the chart. That's like our bull market range low. And Bitcoin did the exact same thing. You'll notice it deviated right below that. So everybody has to entertain the idea that like we literally are just playing this out, and Bitcoin's about to run this shit back to all-time highs, just like the Nasdaq did.
We need the Agger Max.
Do it. Pull it up. But would you guys like this chart?
I love that chart.
Pull it up, Tucker.
I love that chart, but
just turn the volume down a little bit because it's crazy.
Is that good or no?
A little lower, a little lower.
I feel it's not working much.
I know. I feel like that didn't turn it down. Hang on. Is that better?
No, it's the same.
You'll probably have, I don't know. It seems
like it's not.
Yeah, there are only two options: 1 or 0.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Lit this morning, man.
What was that?
That kind of helped a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Leave that right there. It's not so glaring.
Just gotta love these markets, though, right? Like 3 weeks ago, everyone was euphoric. Then a few days ago, everyone is like, "Oh no, 30K next," and then, "Oh my God, we are so back."
I said this in our Discord call. I said, just as quick as it feels like it's over, we can run this shit back any given day.
Even if you're bearish, man, you don't short into a full moon with Jupiter confluence. You just don't do that, man.
Absolutely not. Whoa.
Oh wow, these are loud.
3 million market buy.
Pump it.
Tucker, this is a good point, man. You're messing this up. Look at this comment.
Way too high of a time frame.
Okay, someone's getting raped here.
Someone's
Jack is at 43, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna spike it today.
If so, then that's game over for the Bears.
If we can get a daily close above 43, I don't think we're going back down. Gentlemen.
whoa. Who's cheating?
Binance, dude. Look at Binance just unloaded.
Yeah.
It's funny because there's spot CBD ticking up for whatever reason, and you have Bitfinex buying, but Grayscale's still selling a shit ton of coins.
Yeah.
The Coinbase premium is still, or there's not a Coinbase premium, it's a discount, right? Because there's a lot of selling on Coinbase, and of course it started right on New York Open again, man. You got to think that they're getting close here. I mean, maybe a few more weeks of spot pressure, but once that's alleviated, if the market's still trading up here, I mean, it's going to be hard not to just be stupid bullish at that point.
Listen, I'm sure Carl is trolling here, but I have to defend Max. He never became a bear. He was always bullish, BTC, right? And if anything, he suggested like it's time. I cannot even speak here. Sorry, Max.
You gotta turn the sound off.
It's just got super loud.
It is so loud, man. Oh my god.
You can filter the order size too, Tucker.
I know.
I always filter the orders. Everything below 100K, I don't need to be seeing.
Is ETH being cucked right now, or is ETH hanging in there? I haven't even looked at it today.
It's
so
underperforming
cucked,
Bitcoin, but
dude, it is such a piece of shit. There's no other way to put it.
It really is.
As I said, Max, the market makers are waiting for you to sell.
Dude, I might just sell. I might help you guys out and jeet my bag. I'm so tired of Ethereum, man. Like, the best thing I did was jeet some of my ETH into Caspa like a week ago. The Caspa ETH pair has been up only.
Should I remove the 250s? No.
Wait, what do you mean Caspa has been up only?
The Caspa ETH pair has been up only since I sold ETH into Caspa like a week ago.
Oh, gotcha.
Tucker, you and I need to go to Vegas and hit the craps, man. We have some fun. I can see your pupils dilate when someone gets liquidated.
Dude,
You go into attack mode. Yeah.
We need to watch this more off stream.
We should spend at least 3 or 4 hours a day, just all of us sitting here, just studying the Agger. You know,
We should absolutely have a Discord channel that's just Agger going constantly.
I still stand by the fact, guys, that this is the bounce that we anticipated. BTC going to be stronger and stay still, will hold the range. But I still stand by the fact that some alts are not looking good, right? And I still am looking to short them like a phantom. This bounce, it's going to get faded. FTM is cooked. But there are some that are looking amazing, and those are worth playing. And
dude, Doge looks kind of good. Doge looks real good.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Jackus. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Which time frame? That's important to say.
All of them, Jackus.
No.
Dude, look at this chart. How does this not look good to you?
It doesn't. Because quick Tommy here. Wait.
What did you say? Oh,
Quick
he pulled a Tommy.
Yeah, I said.
See what happens when you give Jackus admin permissions? He just pulls a Tommy. Unbelievable.
We can literally never give Will admin permissions.
I was just thinking about that, man.
Yeah, dude.
Look at this, though. Look at this, right? Oh my god,
dude, that's FUD and propaganda, Jackus. See, that's the move that you're looking for here, but we already got it. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Listen here. This is exactly what I say, that I was anticipating this bounce yesterday and so forth. And I said, that loudly. I anticipate bounce, but then further downside. And with Doge here, this is just a plain, look at this, right? This is a plain liquidity grab. They make you buy, then they make you buy again, that it's the breakout, but it's not. It's a retest. It's a retest. Look at the perfect fill, right, of this. Look at the confluence.
Yeah, so now we have nothing to reject from. We already cleared that out. So when we move back up there, which is going to be soon, we rock it.
So where is the liquidity? And it sits right below all of these.
You know who you sound like, Jackus? You sound like me waiting for the wicks at 25K to get swept. And you know what you told me? It doesn't need to sweep it, okay? ICT is still waiting for 3K equal lows to be swept. It doesn't need to be swept.
That is such an ugly range that they've painted on Doge, man.
that is true. That is true, Max. And I'm not saying just because of these, and I would be happy to flip the bias, but right here, you know, it's pretty clean that the trend has been lost with this sweep. And I do, like, again, yesterday, I said I'm expecting a bounce and then the sell-off to unfold. And if I'm wrong, wait, okay, let me clean this, right? Actually, I'm gonna use the BTC chart. Then this would need to flip higher, but I still think that at some point, like, I still see the scenario, like, go down right here, make them think it's over, you retest this untested breaker, right? This gap is carrying me with all of that confluence I just described. Here, you make it look like it's finally the meme coin season. You do some, this is some, I do not know what is this, right? And maybe this doesn't have to come if this drop goes, like, if this goes, let's say here, I think this is not needed anymore, right? But so this future one depends on how we behave here, but I'm just not seeing it for Doge just yet. I think Doge is amazing at these prices, right? If you are looking for like end of 2024 or 2025, then
I'm about to cook, Jackus. You're wrong, man. I'm about to throw you in the deep fryer right now, Jackus. Right. Are you ready? Are you sure?
I am, but wait.
Like, I'm gonna just flame broil you right now. All right. No other option.
I am happy to be wrong here, right?
Because I live in burger country, man. We only do it one way.
Max, do you want to respond to
this? On Pepe this morning, by the way.
Listen, Chimphone, right? Pepe. Okay, I'm not gonna jump into the chart, but Pepe is doing 1,000% from the current prices. Although it may drop.
That's wrong. Also, it's doing at least 10,000, Jackus.
That's totally possible. I'm saying minimum.
Okay, thank you. You didn't say minimum. You didn't say.
I did.
No.
Okay. If that's okay. At minimum, it's doing 1,000%, right? At minimum. That's what I'm saying from the current prices. It may drop minus 30% from the current prices, right? It may take some time, but it's going up 1,000% minimum from here. And I wouldn't say that with Doge because Doge is super high market cap now. But let's see, yeah, like this seems kind of realistic that we at some point
wrong
above these.
I have to stop this. This is wrong, Jackus.
All right, go.
You're not your perma bear. Let me explain this to you. All right.
Perma bear.
I can't allow this to go on, man. All right.
500% perma bear.
Perma bear. He's too bearish. He's way too bearish. Okay. Let's clean this up a little bit. Let's do this here. We're going to save this. We're going to come back to this later. Okay. All right. Jackus, there's no going back once I start. All right. There's no going back. I don't want you losing connection and suddenly leaving the stream. Okay. All right.
That's not me.
What you're talking about, the move that you're talking about, contextually does not make sense with the timing of where we are in this cycle. Okay. First of all,
right.
This is very, very interesting to see these side by side here. Okay, the cycles for Doge right now, 1,225 days from the first cycle high to the second cycle high, which is basically, I'm just marking when Doge made a new all-time high. Okay, now from the second cycle all-time high to the most recent all-time high was exactly 1,225 days. Again, what are the odds of that?
This is the student trying to teach the master here.
Jack, is allow, you know what? Let me finish. Let me finish cooking. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm going.
I
I'm
love
going
it.
right now.
I love it.
I'm going right now. All right. I'm going right now. All right. Now we're going to put Bitcoin down below. And one thing that you brought to my attention, which was a very, very salient point, which should not be ignored, is that Doge really starts performing well when Bitcoin starts pressuring its all-time high. All right. And that's the truth. It really doesn't, it will not go on, a crazy run if Bitcoin is not at least pressuring its all-time high. All right. So let's take a look at when that could potentially happen. All right. So we'll mark these out. When did Doge go crazy here? Bitcoin made a new all-time high right around here. All right. That was in February of 2017. Okay. The next one was in November, right around here. As it pressures an all-time high, then it goes crazy. If we go back and we look at,
it sounds like 5 months after the halving, right?
Hang on now. If we go back and we look at this chart, if Bitcoin does what the Nasdaq just did here, and this scenario plays out, and Bitcoin, right around the halving is somewhere up in the, pushing all-time high region, contextually speaking, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that Doge would go on to set a new low here. In my opinion, we're somewhere on this Doge chart, assuming Bitcoin's going to be pressing up against an all-time high within 3, 4, 5 months. We are somewhere around here. All right, let me change.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Right now, we're somewhere around.
Okay, so you gotta look really objectively, and I know, guys, Max is absolutely good at this, to acknowledge the data if I present to him, right? And look at the data you have there, and each time you point out is approximately 5 months after the halving when Doge starts to fly. And it's right, you say it well, it's right after BTC makes new all-time high, but you're forgetting that BTC can easily stop at 53 or 60k and then stop there and wait till, for example, end of the year before it makes its new all-time high. Each time on this site, on this chart on Doge, it was 5 months after the halving when Doge started to fly. And that's what you are forgetting, that Doge can stay this way, just like Pepe, for another 5 to 10 months, being sort of like a sideways, slightly down, slightly up. And then it absolutely is going to rip. I agree. I'm in the same camp. I'm just saying now is not probably the time.
I agree with you, but your chart suggested that Doge was going to go back to like 0.05.5. Was that correct? I mean, like a new low almost. I saw an arrow going down to a new low, which is where I disagree and say I think the lows have been set. I really do. I think the lows have been set, and I think we're just in an accumulation period as Bitcoin probably makes an probably makes an ascent to an all-time high.
Yeah.
I really do.
I agree with you that it may not do, like, that was just a wild estimate that we're going to make new lows. I think locally there is definitely some lows to taken, but it's inside of the range, right? And I agree with you, we do not definitely gotta make new cycle lows for Doge. That's not necessary. I still am big believer of the time aspect that I was explaining.
I agree. The timing is important. I'm not expecting a new all-time high for Doge or something within like a few months. Someone in the comments said, look at
also, the thing about meme coins is really that they do nothing for so long, and then when they pump, they just go straight up. There is no stopping. It's very, very quick.
The best time to buy Doge is going to be when Bitcoin's above 55K. That's the truth. But I think from now until 55K, Doge could probably still go up 25%, which won't seem like a lot, but it could. Remy, thank you for the super chat. 1,000% on Pepe Jackus. Wait, you're serious?
you can clearly see that Remy is not on the BB Discord, because if he was, he would see the alpha that was being shared there.
He would. Come on,
Yep.
Remy. But this is Pepe Doge. Someone in the comments mentioned Pepe Doge.
Yeah.
I swear I saw it somewhere. But anyways, this looks really good as well.
Yeah.
This looks great.
And that, by the way, that confirms our thesis, Max, right? That we say that Doge is basically the index for meme coins this cycle, and all of these lower. And it does make sense, because the other meme coins are just lower market cap. You know, Pepe is like, you know, what is it, 500 billion right now, and Doge is like 10 trillion. And if Doge does, you know, 4x, that's 40 trillion. So that means for Pepe, you know, if it just grabs half of it, that means like, you know, 20. That means bare minimum again, as I said, 1000%. So, yeah, very good chart. All lines up. Send it.
Send it. Absolutely send it. I don't know. I just think, look, if Bitcoin does this, man, why do I keep going to that one? If Bitcoin,
that's hidden alpha.
It is hidden alpha. That is very much so hidden alpha. I don't know why I keep showing that. If Bitcoin does this, man, Doge is gonna rip. You know, if Bitcoin does the Nasdaq fractal,
Wait.
Nasdaq, man, if the Nasdaq can do this, what do you think Bitcoin can do?
I agree. I'm gonna cook here, right? I'm gonna cook here again. So, look, I still think, as you say, we may not do this, right? This is like a wild estimate. Again, as I said, maybe we just go here, maybe we just like sweep here, and that's it. If that's the case, you know, this is probably not happening. But this is very much possible, still here within the range, right? I'll keep this one for now. For like right here, I still think we go lower to take some of these, but longer term, this is you know, this is the accumulation range. This is, you know. And as you can see, you know, I've been doing the time thing long ago, and you can see it here, right? You can see it here how it fits with the past cycle. But look at here one. Here it also, you know, took its time to fill these gaps, right? Anyways, like that's each cycle sort of around. But what I wanted to show is once again this, and this is, in my opinion, very important. So, actually go like this. And what is
Oh man, have I got something for you guys?
This is an interesting comment here.
which one?
Very interesting comment.
It's a very interesting comment.
That's yeah, you are missing out. Not gonna lie, Remy. You know.
I mean, we talk about Bitcoin dominance too once in a while. You know, it's important. We don't talk about it every day, but you know, it's good to know.
Okay, so you know, BTC was trading around the same price as it is nowadays at this time, right? In 2016. And what I want you, I have to actually go Doge. And I want you to see right here. This is Doge in 2016, right? So you get the bear market, you get the mania, you get the bear market sell-off, and then you get the range, right? And look, I might actually pop into 1 day. 1 sec. Right, and we are approximately, you know, wherever you want to say we are, like here or here. You know, let's say we are around this area, whatever it is, right? We see that BTC starts to chat up all the way, you know, chat up. What did Dogecoin did during that time? Nothing. Look, BTC chats up, and what is Doge doing? It's nothing, and then goes on and sweeps this entire range low, right? And then what? Sweeps it, further accumulation, as you say, Max. BTC makes new all-time high, does a scary pullback, right? That's this pullback, and then risk is on, and boom.
And boom.
This is the first pump, and then this is the follow-up. It's exactly the same as the past cycle, you get, here you get BTC trading higher, right? Doge is not doing much. Then you get,
Hang on, as Bitcoin, hang on, don't ignore that the pump on Doge there. When Bitcoin was still underneath its all-time high, look at what Doge did. I think
Oh,
we're
yeah.
down there to the left, Jackus. To the left. Right there. To the left.
This one.
In that bottoming range right there. I think that's where we're at right now on Doge.
Right here.
Well, somewhere in there, within that sideways period. It could go a little bit further left, but yeah. And that happened before Bitcoin went to an all-time high.
But the thing is that in this time, right, we had this pump already on Doge, and then we were coming back all the way to retrace to basically this area.
We had a similar pump. We didn't take out that low there either. We had a similar pump just recently. I don't think Doge has to go down much more. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it can't go down, but I don't think we need to take out those lows.
It's as if it was coming down here, right? Doge. This is exactly right here. That's exactly this one. So, and this is my take still, that you are right. You are not right here. You are right here. Right? Sort of like.
But that would imply, look at how it lined up with Bitcoin's correction, right? We would need Bitcoin to correct again. Now, make the Bitcoin chart bigger. Pull that up to the left. We would need Bitcoin to nuke for that to happen. So yeah, if Bitcoin pulls back to 30K or 32K, then Doge will nuke too,
That's one scenario, but also you are forgetting this scenario where BTC was pumping here and Doge was going down, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So I still think that, like, cycle-wise, where we are, in terms of time and in terms of, basically like pre-halving, halving, all that stuff matters. Is BTC coming to new all-time high? That's very important, but at the same time, each chart needs to pay respect to its own levels. And I still stand by the fact that that I don't know, just locally, it doesn't seem it's the time yet. And again, if you were to look where Doge pumped, it's always half a year, around half a year after the halving, right? Here, Doge really did not start to pump, even if you're gonna take this low, Max, that you talked about. That still happens in November 2020, right? That's the bottom. And that's still 5 months after the halving, which equals, November 2024. And it doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't. Let's say it pumps at this, exact time of the halving, for example. But it's still at least, you still have at least, 4, 5, or 3, 4 months of some time. I still think it just needs a little bit more time than it is currently. But what we are, by the way, guys, what we are talking here is like minorities, right? This is exactly what I was saying when BTC was around 25K, or like between 20. Let's say, on average 20K. And I was saying it doesn't matter where you buy in this range longer term, because longer term, Doge is going to be trading up here. It's always the same. Listen, this is crypto cheat sheet, right? Bull market, bear market takes forever. Sell-off is done. Here, you are doing this, right? Sometimes you get this. It's cool. And then you get this. So right now, we are on Doge inside of here. And what we are talking is minorities. So, like, do we go slightly lower? Sure, possible. Even if you're gonna start buying here, then it's good price. It's just that you need to be comfortable if it drops and not cheat your bags down here. That's basically all we are arguing here. What do you think, Max?
I agree with you. Well, I agree with like half of what you're saying. The only thing that throws me off about the retest, one, yes, there's been perfect retests before in the past for Doge. Sometimes the perfect retest actually isn't so perfect. I would actually look at this chart right now and say we've probably bottomed. I don't think it's likely we go below, especially if, again, I'm just going to Tommy the chart real quick. If this scenario happens right here, Doge is still going to pull a 40% move. You know, Doge is going to move up aggressively if Bitcoin does this, even if it doesn't do its crazy parabola yet. Okay. So if we're looking at this chart thinking that there's a decent likelihood that this happens, you're not getting your retest, you know? So for me, if I can hold through some volatility, potential volatility to the downside, knowing what's to come even 6 months from now, 7 months from now, 8 months from now, I would rather have a starter position rather than no position, because you might not get that retest.
I absolutely agree. And guys, I gave a solid alpha on that on our BB Discord today, which I'm not going to share here because it's reserved.
Here, check out the comments. Remy's going to join our Discord. I think Remy said he was tired of
wait. Let me address that. Let me address that with a chart, Remy. I have to, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to Tommy this real quick.
Go.
He said that Ben Cohen wasn't helping him with new charts. Well, look at this. Manta and alt layer are printing the same exact pattern.
Should I ape some alt?
I took the liberty of putting a fractal on alt layer. You know, because this thing's up 58% off that low, which looks pretty damn similar. 50 cent alt layer soon. I think $1 is probably FUD. So, but yeah, I mean, our community has been aped into both of these pretty much since launch, since in here. So
yeah, we're all over the new stuff, man. I mean, I don't get down into the weeds as much, but you got a guy like King Wabi on the team. What are we talking about here?
Exactly.
What are we talking about? He's literally the king of the altcoins, man. But yeah, you should try it out. You asked guys, how much is your Discord access for alpha? Just your guys' takes. It's $149.99 a month. The price is going to go up very, very soon. So for $50 off your first month, this is limited time. I don't know how many are left. I haven't checked the coupon code yet, but it's a limited run. Go to Jackass's Twitter bio if you want $50 off of your first month. And again, we're not going to be running these promotions once we have the BB terminal out, which is going to be soon. And yeah, again, this is a limited time run right here. So if you want to grandfather yourself in for $150 a month and then also get $50 off your first month, limited time offer, go to Jackass's Twitter. You'll see it in his bio.
Yep. Anyways, guys, I gotta run here. So lovely week, and I'm looking for the next one. The good times are here. Let's enjoy them.
Yes.
So have fun, guys, for the rest of the stream.
I think we'll probably call it here. Yeah.
All right, then.
We'll call it here. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I kind of already did the Discord show, but yeah, guys, check out the Discord. Link is in the description below. Definitely check that out before prices go up. And also, if you want to be early to help beta test the BB terminal, which is an absolutely epic product that we are developing right now, it's going to come out right around the Bitcoin halving. It'll be bundled with all of our premium services. And again, prices are going up dramatically. So get in before that happens, and we will honor your current rate of $149.99 a month. And for a very limited time offer, if you would like $50 off of your first month, go to Jackass's Twitter and take a look at his bio. Again, thanks for being here, guys. Please like and subscribe if you have not yet. We'll kick it over to Snorlax for a final farewell.
Final goodbye for the week, guys. I guess, yeah, we'll see you guys next week early to finish off the January monthly candle. Getting some nice volatility here to end the week, which is, I mean, it's welcomed, quite frankly. It's like I said at the start of the show, we've pretty much been, at least on Bitcoin, kind of bleeding the last 2 weeks. It's been pretty miserable. Even I would say even for people who were shorting, right? Unless you were just taking super directional punts on altcoins, the market hasn't really been bearing a ton of fruits to capitalize on. But exciting stuff that we're getting here into the end of the weekend. I think that we're going to get some resolution on this consolidation here over the next 2 weeks, which should provide even more volatility. But I don't have to tell you guys that. If you've been watching the show, you know exactly what's going to happen and how we're going to trade throughout the range. But echoing everything Max had to say about the Discord, guys, Jackus, Will got codes to join the Discord at a discounted price. I would definitely take advantage of that while you still can, because like Max said, the price will be going up, and more importantly, the value that we offer is going up pretty substantially. So I'm pretty excited for you guys to see how that pans out. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all for me, guys. I feel like we had a great show today. It was a good mixture of alpha and a bit of casualness for Friday. We had Agar on. We had another debate about ETH versus the L1, L2 trade, everything in between. If you missed part of the show, make sure to watch the reruns. And of course, make sure to tune in for Market Talk with the legendary King Wabi at 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time. That's typically the start time for more fantastic bull bear debate, market commentary, crypto, alpha, everything in between, guys. I mean, we cover all things markets at Because Bitcoin, and we've got some guys here that do a really exceptional job of doing it. But y'all have a fantastic rest of your weekend. We will be back on Monday for another episode of Market Check. That start time near 11 a.m. Eastern time, give or take a few minutes. But yeah, y'all have a great rest of your weekend, and thanks again.